Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today's lesson is a lesson about slang in British English, part 2. So, this lesson is part 2 in a series of several videos about British slang. A very quick reminder, 2 seconds. Slang is very informal language. It is often used in spoken English, but not in written English. Slang is not really good English, but it is very common. Therefore, it is important for you to understand it. So, in this lesson, which is part 2, you will learn the following slang words and expressions: bottle, chat up, cheeky, cheers, daft, dim, and donkey's years. So let's start. Bottle. So the normal meaning of bottle is this. I'm sure you already know this meaning of bottle. So it's a countable noun and it's this object. So we can say, for example, 1 bottle of champagne, 2 bottles of wine. It's countable. But the slang meaning of bottle is courage. Okay, so it's courage. So it's very, very different to this meaning. So this is slang. And this meaning, the noun is uncountable. Okay, and for more about countable and uncountable nouns, watch the other video on my channel. So the meaning is someone with a lot of bottle is courageous and brave. Example: Mark says, "I've decided to quit school and join the army." And David says, "Wow, really? You've got a lot of bottle. You've got a lot of bottle." A lot of bottle means you have a lot of courage. You are very brave. You are courageous. Okay? Notice that there is no S here. A lot of bottle. Bottle is always in the singular form when we are using the slang meaning, because it is uncountable. Okay, a lot of bottle. We also have an expression which is linked to this word: to lose one's bottle. So to lose your bottle, or to lose my bottle, to lose his bottle or her bottle. And this means to lose confidence and fail to do something. Or in other words, to stop feeling brave and to stop feeling courageous. Okay? Example. So it's the same situation. Mark says, "I've changed my mind. I'm going to stay at school." So he's no longer going to join the army. He's changed his mind. And David says, "Oh, well, it sounds like you've lost your bottle. You have lost your bottle." It means that you are no longer feeling courageous. You are no longer feeling brave. Okay? You have lost confidence, and you are not going to join the army. Okay, this is what you're failing to do. Okay, so to have a lot of bottle and to lose your bottle. Chat somebody up. Very, very common in British English, in informal British English. So this is an important one. It's a phrasal verb, and it means to talk to somebody in a way that shows you are attracted to them. Let me give you an example. Mark says, I really like Jane, and I think she likes me. So David says, go and chat her up. Go and chat her up. Chat her up. Her is the somebody, and chat up, so this is the phrasal verb. So the second example, same situation. John is asking, what is Mark doing? This is Mark. David replies, he's chatting Jane up. So here, this is Mark. This is Jane. Mark is chatting Jane up. So we often, this is like an expression about seduction, seducing. Mark is talking to Jane because he likes Jane. He is physically attracted to Jane, and he's talking to her. Perhaps he's making jokes, telling funny stories, giving her compliments, teasing her. Okay, I'm sure you understand. And of course, it works both ways, both directions. Men chat women up and women chat men up. So here we can also say Jane is chatting Mark up. If Jane likes Mark and wants to show him, then Jane chats Mark up. Okay, works both ways. Very, very common. It's not a rude expression. It's perfectly fine, but it's quite informal. And very common in British English. Okay, so you'll hear this a lot. Cheeky. Adjective to describe a person, and it means slightly rude or not showing respect. Example: a mother says to her child, clean your teeth before you go to bed. The child replies, no, I don't want to. And the mother says, don't be cheeky. Clean your teeth. So don't be cheeky. So here the child says, I don't want to. So the child is being rude here. The child is not showing respect. And the mother doesn't like it. So she says, no, don't be rude. Don't be cheeky. You hear this a lot between parents and children. When the child is being naughty or rude, then the parent, the father or the mother, will say, don't be cheeky. Okay. Another example, this time this is with adults. Jane says, Claire never offers to pay for coffee. I always pay. And Sarah says, yes, I know, she's cheeky. So Claire is cheeky. So Claire is slightly rude. Claire does not show respect because Claire never pays for the coffee. Okay, she always drinks the coffee. Other people pay for coffee. Jane pays for the coffee, but Claire never offers to pay. So Claire is cheeky. Okay. So this is very common, again, British English. Cheers. This is a very good expression. It's an exclamation, so it's something we say to exclaim something. And it has three meanings. Meaning one. Now, meaning one is valid in British English and American English. This is the only one where it is valid for both. So, we say cheers while having a drink with someone. It's a friendly gesture. And we often touch glasses when we say cheers. And this meaning is valid for American English and British English. It's the only one which is used in American English. So here we are. I'm sure you now understand the expression. So Jane says cheers, and Sarah says cheers, and they touch glasses, and then they take a sip. Okay, so I'm sure you have an equivalent of this in your own language. In French, for example, the French say chin chin, or santé, or à la vôtre. Okay, so that's the equivalent in French, and I'm sure you have the equivalent in your language. Tell me in the comments what is the equivalent expression in your language. Cheers meaning number 2. And it's still an exclamation. So this means thank you. And this time this is only British English. Example. David says, I bought you a sandwich. And Mark says, cheers mate. So cheers, he's saying thank you. And again, this is informal. This is language between close friends. So you would say this if you're saying thank you to someone that you know very well. But don't say this to someone in a formal context. For example, in a job interview, if someone gives you a glass of water during a job interview, don't say cheers. This is too familiar. Okay, so it's between people who know each other very well. So this is a new word. What does this mean? Mate. Well, this is also slang, British English slang. And it's a noun. And it means friend. So this is a slang word for friend. So again, you would use this only between close friends. You'd say, thanks mate, cheers mate. I'm going to the pub with my mates. I'm going to the pub with my friends. Okay, very, very common as well in British English. Another example of cheers. Sarah says, it's raining. Can I borrow your umbrella? Jane replies, of course. And Sarah says, cheers. I'll give it back to you tomorrow. So Sarah is simply saying, thanks, thank you. I'll give it back to you tomorrow. So Sarah and Jane, they are good friends. So they can use informal language. Cheers. Meaning 3 of cheers. Again, this is only British English. It's also an exclamation, and it means goodbye. David says, bye Mark. And Mark replies, cheers David, see you tomorrow. So, goodbye David, see you tomorrow. Okay. Daft. This is an adjective, and it means stupid or silly. Example. Jane says, Mark wants to buy a boat. But Sarah says, but you don't live near the sea. And Jane says, I know, it's a daft idea. It's a daft idea. So this means it's a stupid idea. It's a silly idea. Okay, so an idea, so daft is an adjective and it can describe an idea. We could also say, yes, I know, Mark is daft, to describe a person. Okay, so it can describe an idea or a person. Here's an example. John says, I love pigs. They are so cute. David replies, well, you should buy one. John says, don't be daft. I don't have time to take care of a pig. So don't be daft. Don't be stupid. Don't be silly. So here, daft is an adjective describing a person, David. Okay, so David is daft because he is suggesting to John that he should buy a pig. Okay, it's a daft idea. David is daft. Dim. Now, before I give you the slang meaning of dim, I'm going to give you the normal meaning of dim. So the normal meaning of dim, this is not slang. It means a dim light is not bright. So this is a bright light. This is a dim light. So I think you can see the difference. This is very bright, the high intensity, and this is low intensity. It's a dim light. So this is the normal, correct meaning of dim. So the slang meaning of dim, well, it's an adjective to describe a person. So can you guess? Can you guess what it means? If this is a dim light, what is a dim person if it's slang? Have a guess. Well, the answer is it's a person who is not very clever or not very intelligent because they don't shine. It's a person who doesn't shine. So it's someone who is not very intelligent. So an example, who is that? David says, that's Simon. He's the new salesman. So Mark asks, what's he like? And David replies, he's friendly, but he is a bit dim. He is a bit dim. So he's a nice guy, he's a nice person, but he's not very intelligent. Okay, so dim, obviously this is quite rude. You know, you're saying that someone is not very intelligent. So it's not very polite, but it is more polite than saying someone is stupid. Okay, but still be careful with this. It's an insult, obviously. Okay. Donkey's years. My mum says this one a lot. A very long time. So this is the meaning. It means a very long time, a long period of time. So we often say donkey's years to describe the long period of time during which we have not seen somebody. Okay? Example. Mark says, hi Claire, do you remember me? It's Mark. And Claire replies, oh, hi Mark, how are you? I haven't seen you for donkey's years. I haven't seen you for donkey's years. I haven't seen you for donkey's years. So this is the form that we use for this expression. I haven't seen you for donkey's years. So it means I haven't seen you for a long time, a very long time. Okay? So we often say this, yes, if it's the first time we have seen someone in maybe 10 years. You see someone 10 years later and you say, wow, I haven't seen you for donkey's years. Okay? So there we are. That's the end. Please share this video on social media, Twitter or Facebook. Cheers.